Oh, here we go. I think this is your,
it's me.
This is your voiceover.
So I'm going to do it in the voice of Darth Maul.
Okay, go for it.
This is me going for it, because Darth Maul doesn't have any fucking lines in the film, but I'm mad about it still. The Trade Federation army has been completely neutralized by Anakin Skywalker, but the battle continues in the Royal Palace. Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi have one more enemy to face.
I'm not sure, like, as a Scottish person, whether I should be offended at the fact that Ray Park's Scottish accent wasn't permissible.
Oh, here we go.
Dub him.
Oh, it'd be fantastic if Darth Maul was from Glasgow.
If the trail is wet, I will find them quickly, master. It's even...
He just imagine he puts one blade of the lightsaber out and then just goes, "Aye, pal," and extends the other blade. It'd be great.
Oh, this should be a thing for your YouTube channel. Scottish Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, but from Motherwell. Right.
I'm Qui-Gon again.
Oh yeah. Oh, the music is playing. Ow.
Ha-da-da-da. Hot, hot, hot.
Alright, if you hit the attack button just as the blaster shot is about to hit you, you deflect it, ow, back perfectly. And then you throw a brick at me.
It's a matter of timing, I told you this earlier.
Yeah, but I didn't listen, did I? That'd be ridiculous. Wow, that was actually pretty efficient. Whoop. There we go. Also, I know he can, but we don't really see Maul use the Force much in episode 1, do we? Other than, like, flips and shit.
No, I don't, that's not true. I think he throws something to get, like, a wall panel to close at one point, or he closes, like, a door.
That does sound familiar, yeah.
With the Force. But yeah. He seems just to fight things.
Yeah.
Stick to what you know, I guess.
Well, that's kind of why Sidious picks him, at least.
Yeah. I need to watch Clone Wars.
You should. You definitely should. I'm really enjoying it. And it's all on Disney Plus, so you've got no excuse now. And the 7th season is apparently really good. Like the one that's
I've
just
also,
finished now.
I'm on 96% completion for Spider-Man, so I'll move on to...
Full Order
soon.
Yes, do it. You will love it. Because, like, you like Star Wars and you like Dark Souls, so that game is made for you, essentially.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, yes, look at this thing. I'm going to face the Dark Lord of the Sith and this motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
Oh!
Sorry. You can get back in there if you want. Don't worry.
Greed
right.
is a path to the
real
dark
chat
side.
here for a moment. Officially, can Darth Maul be a Darth if there are only 2, and technically there's still Palpatine and Plagueis at this point?
This is presumably before the Plagueis novel becomes canon, right? And
I mean, yes, probably, yeah.
And also, like, even if Plagueis is alive, we only ever hear Palpatine call him Darth.
True, yeah. Well, I think in the book, I think. Oh, there's only a droid panel up there anyway. Oh, a stormtrooper panel, which we're not anyway.
Oh,
right, let's move on.
So that was a waste.
Because I'm trying to remember in the book. I think Maul maybe kept secret from Plagueis.
It would make sense if he was. I know. I've read a comic book where he's very much kept secret. Like Sidious literally just keeps him locked up in the basement.
Yeah. Well, I thought he has him like on. It might even be Mustafar, somewhere like that, like training all the time, basically, which is why he's a fucking good swordsman.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. Who knows if that's canon anymore? Like, I'm sure it's like...
Well, I mean, none of the Plagueis stuff is canon anyway. I think the official canon at the moment is that Plagueis is a story that Palpatine came up with to manipulate Anakin Skywalker and nothing more.
Yeah, but regardless, like, Darth Maul must have been somewhere during all of this. Even if the Plagueis stuff isn't canon, there must be an in-canon explanation as to where he was.
But some of that's in Clone Wars.
Oh!
Because you get a bit of Maul's backstory. Because you get his brother, voiced by Clancy Brown, and it's fantastic.
I love Clancy Brown. Probably one of my favourite, if not my all-time favourite character actors.
Well, he's good as Savage Opress, certainly.
Hey, did you know that I have something to say? It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Oh, God.
There can be only one!
I have seen that film way too many times.
Likewise.
9, specifically, because we watch it every year.
Another time, MacLeod.
It's. I always want to say it's so good, but it's not. It's not a good film.
It is. It's like. I need to come all the way back up, don't I?
You fucked it up, is what you've done there. Yeah, no, it's really weird and just has a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense and a lot of shit lines that are like weird throwaway lines that you wonder how they made it into the script.
I enduringly love like Highlander as a kind of guilty pleasure sort of movie.
It's definitely a guilty pleasure. It's well into
very 80s.
It's very 80s and it's well into so bad it's good territory. Like,
absolutely.
I disagree in the strongest possible terms with people, and they do exist, who argue that Highlander is a objectively good film.
It isn't. I can see it getting props for the soundtrack.
Oh, for God's sake, man.
How many... Hang on, stay up there. Then I should just
Nope, you didn't. None of that happened. Right? Just remember to double jump. That's all that matters. Oh, fuck. that was incredibly comic timing.
It's the will of the Metachlorian.
Don't say that word. Oh, even better, there's such a thing as maxi-chlorians.
Oh, really?
Not even kidding.
And what are those exactly?
I don't know, like Plagueis' master uses them to try and possess Plagueis after he dies.
I think, like, I've consumed more Star Wars media than you have, yet you seem to have more deep-cut Star Wars lore than I do.
I mean, I played this game a lot, and I read the Darth Plagueis book very recently because it was on sale on Audible. That's most of it. I played the Battlefront games a lot.
Yeah, likewise. Oh, that's a Let's Play we should try and make happen.
That's already been done by the infamous gentleman, I'm afraid. Was almost every map on Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh no, I'm gonna weep salty, lonely tears.
And it was hard to get working. The online on that game doesn't... That's not a thing anymore, because that game's from 2005. Roger. Yeah, so we had to do it, like, playing locally together, so we had two computers in the same room with, like, an Ethernet cable running between them. It was a horrifying setup, and shouldn't have worked. But it was good fun. Like that was one of those ones where we played it back and just remembered how much fun that game actually is just to play.
Battlefront 2. I think it was Battlefront 2, or was it the original Battlefront?
It was Battlefront 2.
I'm not talking any of like the EA recent ones.
The classic Battlefronts as they're now called. The only issue we found with it is that just some of the levels are just really badly unbalanced. Like it's incredibly difficult, for example, for the rebels to win on Hoth.
Oh, because the attack's unstoppable.
Yeah. You can kill them, but you will, unless you're playing on an unusual set of rules, you usually don't have enough time to actually take them down, unless you use the snowspeeders. But also the AI take all the snowspeeders immediately and just crash them into walls.
Did you do the hunt missions where you like get to play as the Wampa?
Oh yeah, well, there's Wampas on that one, isn't there?
It's so good because you're unstoppable. You've got a health bar that's like 700% the standard health bar.
We did a couple of them on we did the one on Kashyyyk with the Wookiees, and then the one on Tatooine where it's like Tusken Raiders versus
Jawas.
Yeah. That's quite fun.
It's almost impossible for the Tuskens to win in that one, as I recall.
Yeah, and let's be honest, the actual like Let's Play footage we did of that is mostly me just making Jawa noises for 5 minutes. Exactly, yeah. Oh no. Right.
Where are those droideka?
Now there are two of them. This is getting out of hand. Oh no, I got killed.
I love that, they make out like the Confederates lose the Galactic Civil War, right? But yet, every time we see droideka, the Jedi flee before them.
Yeah. I also still, I'll be honest, I don't fully understand what the argument against the Separatists is. Like
they're not nice white humanoids.
I was gonna say, like, if they want to leave the Republic, sure, why not? It's not like it's hurting it, other than the massive droid army. It's not like they're hurting anyone. We only think they're bad because they're funded by Sidious, but no one else knows that either.
But listen, did they ever actually like? It occurs to me like the Separatists don't actually act aggressively towards the Republic. Like
no, the Republic sends armed what they called negotiators.
Insurgents. Yeah, so like they arrest Obi-Wan for what is legitimately, spying.
Yep.
And then they're going to execute him, which, okay, fair enough, a little bit draconian, but understandable given that it's on the brink of war. And then the Republic sends an army to Geonosis.
Yeah, it's. Yeah. Maybe the Separatists did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Hans, are we the baddies?
Yeah. Trust the Scotsman to be making this argument.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know, a veiled threat about Scottish independence, I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, because because there's an independence movement in Scotland, I naturally support any independence movement, fictitious or otherwise.
That is how it works, is it not? Oh, he's fucked off again. I think he'll be back though. There we go. He seems rather easy to beat.
Yeah.
I'm also pleased with how coordinated we were in that last scene to say we weren't talking at all about what we were doing.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got a very loose understanding of which buttons do what, even at this late stage.
Yeah.
Oh, he's throwing bicycles at us. Is that him?
Where is he? Should we go over round to him, I think, maybe?
What?
Oh, I think we got him, yeah. That was a bit of a...
Is the joke here that he's throwing everything but the kitchen sink at us? Is that the joke here?
Maybe. I like how this game does use Lego as, like, the comic relief. Like, the fact that it's one of the only almost tense moments of this film, but Maul's throwing, like, cauldrons at you and shit.
Oh!
Still hurts.
Even in a Lego format, it makes me go, ugh.
I was reading a very interesting thing the other day. So it's by the guy who wrote and directed The Mandalorian, Dave Filoni. That he was saying he views what goes on here as like the most important thing in all of Star Wars, because how differently he thinks things would have gone had Qui-Gon survived this and trained Anakin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll never know, because isn't it implied that Qui-Gon's like a radical in of himself, and like
yeah.
He would,
well, that's the argument that's made. It's like Qui-Gon wants Jedi to be like a little bit more, human and compassionate and stuff like that, and how much of a difference that might have made to Anakin.
He might also have sided with Dooku, so like an Anakin Skywalker trained by Qui-Gon might legitimately have joined Dooku. Or if Qui-Gon goes to Geonosis instead of Obi-Wan, which is not inconceivable if he'd lived, then he might have joined Dooku right off the bat.
It could have all been very different.
Are we just describing a more interesting prequel trilogy than the one that we got?
Yeah, it sounds like it. Oh, dude, right, I'm going to save this one for next episode, because we finished this one and we're on the finished story part now. But I was reading a fascinating thing about how much more of an exciting story could have been told than the sequel trilogy that we just finished.
Ooh, I'm interested to hear about that as well. Oh, here we go. Gungans with drums.
There's been pleasingly little Gungans in the Lego version, at least. That's good.
Yeah, I feel even the Lego version understands its audience.
Yeah. And the exchanging of the Orb of Friendship.
We
also haven't seen Palpatine in this at all.
Oh yeah, I guess they don't have like a. You know what this is? There's no Lego minifig for Ian McDermott when he's not Palpatine.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I feel bad for him. Poor guy, cut out of the merchandising.
Yeah. He's also incredibly irritating in this game when he does show up, because he's really slow. Like, he moves at like...
he can only hobble around.
Yeah, he moves at like protocol droid speed, and it's frustrating. But now I suppose I can go on my brief rant now that it's about like... A far more interesting story would have been picking up, like, Force Awakens picking up a year or two after Return of the Jedi, rather than, like, half a generation later.
I can see why they did it, because, like, everyone's got so much attachment to, like, the expanded universe, and let's face it, it's very inconsistent, and, like, I know that everyone was like, oh, Mara Jade, I want to see more Skywalkers, but I can understand why they decided to just completely...
But then they talk about, like, all the interesting stuff that's happened. It's like, you don't see much, for example, about the relationship between Ben Solo and Luke Skywalker, which is potentially very interesting stuff, or, like, Leia's training or anything like that, and unfortunately, one of the main arguments that's made in favour of why they did what they did was... because everyone really wanted to see the original actors in again, and they're all like 35 years older, so it has to be set 30-something hours, like years later. And also, they wanted to reboot A New Hope without telling anyone they were rebooting A New Hope.
I still defend the new trilogy, to be honest. Like, I like all of the films for different reasons.
I think the only thing that gets me with it is very clear that there's a lot of different writers going on and kind of fighting with each other.
Oh, 100%. Like, it's movies made by committee, but I mean, that's what blockbuster cinema has become. So
yeah, I didn't hugely like Force Awakens because it was just a reboot of A New Hope, which I found slightly irritating. Last Jedi...
I accept that criticism.
You don't accept that criticism?
No, I do accept that criticism.
Yes,
but I still enjoy it.
Fair, I can see that. Then Last Jedi it set up some interesting points, but also like binned so many points from Force Awakens. It was like, oh, we're not dealing with that. Doesn't matter who Snoke is. Doesn't matter who your parents are, Rey. And then Rise of Skywalker was a desperate attempt to get that back together again, and it felt a bit messy.
Rise of Skywalker is a mess. I'm one of these people who unapologetically loves The Last Jedi. I think it's a very meta film. It deals about like characters dealing with this grand legacy that they've inherited, whilst the movie simultaneously deals with the grand legacy that it has inherited. I
can see that at least, yes, as a point. But also it just has a lot of shit in it.
The Casino Planet stuff is the Canto Bite, whatever it's called. It's unforgivable. It's just terrible.
Yeah, no one needed that.
No, we did not. But the fight in Snoke's throne room is incredible against the new Imperial Guard.
See, I never got that.
The bit where the Rebel blockade runner, like splits the Super Star Destroyer in two is just incredible.
See, that annoyed me from like a scientific point. It's like, okay, well, why does this universe bother having weapons? Why not just strap a hyperdrive to a fucking asteroid and use that to take out an entire fleet, no matter what their defenses are? And the Snoke's throne room scene, it was choreographically, if that's a word, kind of cool. The set is awful. It looks like a shitty music video from the early 2000s.
I've never paused to consider the set too much. There's a lot of red.
I couldn't get past that yet. But it's like shitty red curtains and stuff like that. And I was one of the people who was very excited for the reveal of like, oh, who is Snoke? Where does he come from? We don't know what even fucking species he is. Is he a human that's been fucked up? Why is he apparently quite strong with the dark side? And it's just like, oh, you'll never know.
I was never psyched to find out who he is. I was like, oh, look, another Dark Lord, a shadowy figure to control our heroes. I was like, well, we've done this. And I was much more interested for Kylo Ren to return as like our primary villain for the third installment.
Yeah. See, I'm also annoyed in that Kylo Ren died in the third one, because it was all set up perfectly for him to actually get the redemption that Vader didn't get. Obviously, Vader got the redemption, then died, but Kylo Ren could have got that redemption and lived.
Yeah,
but then he just died anyway.
Yep. We spoke about this when we were watching some of the films. It's almost like in Kylo Ren we get the young Darth Vader that we never got with Hayden Christensen, because Adam Driver, for as much as like he's a bizarre-looking individual, he's a very talented actor. Like, I like his performance.
He is an incredibly bizarre-looking individual. It's like someone took Alan Rickman into Photoshop and just started using the liquefy filter on him. It's like, I'm going to expand his torso a bit, pull his face down, you know. It's bizarre.
To clarify, I don't think he's necessarily an unattractive man. He's just a very bizarrely proportioned
He's really
man.
Tall as well. He's like 6'3".
Yeah, he's a former US Marine, I'm sure. I think he's like ex-military.
Yeah, I've seen photos of that, certainly. These are long credits.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd have to spend this much time like talking over these. Oh,
I skipped it there because yeah.
Your viewership doesn't have all night.
Yes, no, exactly. Well, we've done Phantom Menace, so thank you everyone for watching, and well, I guess I hope you'll join us next time for the next one. My brain's fallen out. What is it? Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones.
I can only think the Clone Wars. Because, you know, when you're just like, begun the Clone Wars have, I always forget it's...
Begun the Clone Wars have, yeah.
It always gets me that the Star Wars films never say the name of the film in the films. I struggle sometimes. Anyway, yes, hope you'll join us next time for the beginning of the Clone Wars. Thank you very much, and goodbye.